What would you do if the one thing tying you to your past was sold for a fortune, only to unravel a secret that could change everything? Emma stood in the dimly lit attic, her fingers tracing the worn edges of her grandmother's old piano, the one constant in her life through years of loss and love. It was more than wood and ivory keys. It was a vessel of memories, her grandmother's gentle hands guiding hers over the notes, teaching her not just music, but resilience, hope, and the quiet strength of family. Now, it was gone, sold by her husband, David, for $20 million to a mysterious collector. The money was life-changing, but the betrayal stung deeper than Emma could have imagined. And yet, something about the sale felt wrong, like a melody played in the wrong key. Emma and David had been married for 12 years, their love a slow burn that had weathered career shifts, financial struggles, and the ache of a childless home. David, a pragmatic real estate developer, saw the piano as a relic taking up space in their cramped Brooklyn brownstone. "It's just an old instrument, Em," he'd said, his voice clipped as he waved off her protests. "We could pay off the house, start fresh. You don't even play it anymore." His words cut, not because they were cruel, but because they were half true. Emma hadn't touched the keys in years, not since Grandma Rose passed. But to sell it without her consent? That was a wound she couldn't forgive. The piano had been in Emma's family for generations, passed down from her great-great-grandmother, a concert pianist in Vienna before the war. Its dark mahogany body bore scars, nicks from moves, faint burns from forgotten candles, but to Emma, those imperfections were stories. She remembered Grandma Rose's tales of how it survived the Blitz, hidden in a London basement, its music silenced but its spirit unbroken. Emma had always sensed there was more to it, something Rose hinted at in her cryptic bedtime stories about the piano's heart. But Rose took those secrets to her grave, and Emma, caught up in adult life, had let them fade. The sale happened while Emma was away visiting her sister in Boston. David called it a surprise, presenting the $20 million check like a trophy when she returned. "This is our future, Em," he said, his eyes gleaming with ambition. "Think of what we can do." But Emma felt only a hollow ache. She demanded answers. Why so much for an old piano? Who was the buyer? David shrugged, saying a private collector had approached him through a broker, offering an obscene sum. "It's just business," he insisted. But his unease, the way his hands fidgeted, told Emma he was hiding something. Days later, a letter arrived, addressed to Emma in elegant, looping script. It was from a woman named Clara, claiming to be the granddaughter of a man who once owned the piano alongside Rose. Clara's words were urgent. "The piano holds a secret your grandmother swore to protect. Meet me, please." Emma's heart raced. She hadn't told David about the letter, sensing his involvement was deeper than he let on. Against her better judgment, she agreed to meet Clara at a small cafe in Manhattan. Clara was in her 60s, her silver hair pulled into a tight bun, her eyes sharp with purpose. Over coffee, she revealed a story that twisted Emma's world. The piano wasn't just an heirloom. It was a relic of a forgotten resistance. During World War II, Rose and Clara's grandfather, a Jewish composer named Elias, had been part of an underground network smuggling coded messages to Allied forces. The piano was their tool. Hidden within its frame was a compartment, ingeniously crafted to conceal microfilm messages that saved countless lives. Rose had vowed to keep it safe, not for its monetary value, but for what it represented: sacrifice, courage, and a legacy of defiance. Emma's breath caught. The piano wasn't just her past. It was a piece of history. But Clara's next words sent a chill through her. "The buyer knew," she said. "They weren't after the piano's beauty. They wanted what's inside." Emma pressed for details, but Clara grew cagey, admitting she'd tracked the piano's sale through rumors in the art world. The buyer, she hinted, might be tied to a shadowy group seeking wartime artifacts not for preservation, but for profit or worse, to erase their secrets. That night, Emma confronted David. His face paled as she recounted Clara's story. "I didn't know," he stammered, but his eyes darted away. Pressed harder, he confessed. The buyer's broker had approached him months ago, dropping hints about the piano's unique history. David thought it was just hype to justify the price. He'd signed the deal, dazzled by the money, never asking questions. But now, he admitted, the broker had called again, demanding access to the piano before it shipped overseas. "I thought it was just paperwork," David said, his voice breaking. "Ing, watchy heavy though." Emma's anger softened into resolve. She couldn't let the piano or its secrets fall into the wrong hands. With Clara's help, she tracked the piano to a warehouse in Jersey, where it awaited shipment. Breaking in was reckless, but Emma felt Rose's strength guiding her. Inside, they found the piano, its lid propped open. Clara's hands trembled as she pressed a hidden panel near the pedals, revealing a small compartment. Inside was a single microfilm reel, its edges brittle but intact. Clara's eyes filled with tears. "This is it," she whispered. "Elias's last message." But the moment was shattered by footsteps. A man in a tailored suit appeared, flanked by 2 guards. "You shouldn't be here," he said, his voice cold. He introduced himself as Victor, the broker's employer, and his interest in the piano was clear. The microfilm contained names people who had collaborated with the Nazis, names powerful families still wanted buried. He offered Emma a deal: hand over the film, and she'd walk away richer. Refuse, and there'd be consequences. Emma's heart pounded, but she thought of Rose, of the piano's scars, of the lives it had saved. She refused. Victor's smile vanished, but before he could act, Clara pulled a small device from her Baga recorder, capturing every word. "You're not the only one who knows secrets," she said, her voice steady. The guards hesitated, and Emma seized the moment, grabbing the microfilm and bolting with Clara. They escaped into the night, the piano left behind, but its heart now in their hands. Back home, David was waiting, his face etched with guilt. Emma didn't forgive him but she saw his regret was real. Together, they contacted historians, ensuring the microfilm reached those who would honor its truth. The piano was lost, sold to a collector who'd likely never know its full story, but Emma felt a strange peace. She'd kept Rose's promise. In the quiet of their home, Emma sat at the empty space where the piano once stood. She didn't need its keys to hear its music anymore. It was in her the courage to fight for what mattered, the strength to face betrayal, and the hope to rebuild. The $20 million was untouched, a reminder of a choice that could have broken her, but instead set her free. What would you do with a secret worth more than money? For Emma, the answer was clear. You protect it, no matter the cost.